CEO&lt Podcast. Gracias por la sintonía. Yo he tenido unas cuantas conversaciones con empresarios que tuvieron una visión y la pusieron en práctica. Y por su práctica y disciplina, esa visión fue exitosa. Y una de esas personas es alguien que es muy cercana a mí y a la cual admiro mucho. Su personalidad, sabiduría y el empeño que le pone a todo lo que hace es digno de admirar y quizás aprender mucho de ella. Señorita Ziegler, gracias por ser parte de esta visión que ahora tengo yo.
Gracias por tenerme aquí.
Quería tenerte aquí porque quiero hacerte unas cuantas preguntas. Quiero ver cómo empieza tu hazaña y cómo finalmente consigues ser lo que ahora mismo eres. So, first things first, I guess. How you started in the business and what is that you do?
I am the owner of a water dryout company. So basically we come to homes that are wet, whether they've been wet by any kind of water leak from plumbing or a roof leak. We also do mold and fire, and we dry them out. We take care of it, we remediate it, and then we charge the insurance company, so there's no out-of-pocket costs for the insured. The way I started is I used to work for the accounting department in the same kind of business for 4.5 years. And when that company went out of business, after I saw how much money I was collecting for them, I thought that would be a good business for me to get into. I liked it. I learned a lot while I was there for 4.5 years. So I ventured off on my own, really not knowing what I was doing at first, and kind of winged it. And here we are today, 6 years later.
And you were your own company, so basically tú eras tu jefa y a la misma vez tu empleado, porque solamente eras tú.
Correcto. Yo era la que hacía todo. Yo vendía, yo hacía los secados, yo colectaba, yo hacía la factura para la compañía de seguro, yo le pagaba a los plomeros y a los techeros, yo hacía todo sola al principio.
Ok, y más o menos ¿hace qué tiempo fue que empezó esa hazaña?
Yo empecé hace 6 años y los primeros 2 años estuve sola.
¿Tuviste sola los primeros
Totalmente
2 años?
sola. Entonces tuve a un ayudante part-time, porque él trabajaba en otro trabajo por las noches y me ayudaba por el día. Y así estuve casi 2 años más así con él nada más.
Ok. Bueno, eso ya la parte, vamos a poner fácil, vamos a decir, que estamos hablando ahora, que fue donde empezó tu hazaña como dueña de un negocio. Pero a tu temprana edad, ¿qué tú hacías? ¿Qué era lo que tú hacías? Vamos a poner, si podemos decir tu edad.
Tengo 47 años.
Vamos a poner a los 30, a los 20.
A los 20, a los 30 yo era contadora. El giro mío es contabilidad. Me gusta la matemática, me gusta lo que hago, pero para mí no es un giro, ¿cómo te diré?, interesante. Es bien lo que nosotros los americanos llamamos lame and tedious. Sentado en un escritorio, delante de la computadora, haciendo números el día entero.
Y trabajar para otra persona.
Y trabajar para otra persona. Tú puedes ser un contador que trabaja por su propia cuenta, pero todavía estás haciendo la misma cosa todos los días. Yo sabía que eso es lo que yo no quería hacer. Yo quería hacer algo que todos los días era diferente, que podías salir a conocer a gente todos los días, y tú no haces haciendo contabilidad, sentado en un escritorio, tú no vas a conocer a nadie casi.
Sí. No.
So, me cansé, bien rápido me cansé de la contabilidad, y cuando aprendí este giro, yo supe desde el momento que lo aprendí que yo quería estar en este giro. A mí me encanta lo que yo hago.
Y eso es más o menos pero no tuviste, no sé, trabajaste para McDonald's en un tiempo, para restaurar,
nunca. La única cosa que hice cuando yo empecé mi negocio, porque necesitaba dinero inmediatamente para poder pagar el asistente mío y a poder rentar equipo, porque cuando empecé no tenía ningún equipo mío.
Equipo como de secar.
De las máquinas para secar y hacer el trabajo. Trabajé de server en Red Lobster. Mi primer trabajo con waitress. Camarera de Red Lobster. Fue la primera y última vez que fui camarera. Me encantó el trabajo. Y salía. Los pancitos y los pancitos. Pero salía todas las noches con efectivo de las propinas. Y con ese efectivo le podía pagar al muchacho que me estaba ayudando, o pagarle a los equipos que estaba rentando para poder hacer un trabajo.
So, estamos hablando que cuando tú empezaste, trabajabas para Red Lobster y a la vez tú hacías tu propio negocio on the side. So,
No, en ese momento yo estaba trabajando para una compañía de contabilidad
Okay.
y Red Lobster. Y esta compañía que empecé.
Que
So, en sí
empezaste.
tenía 3 trabajos en ese entonces.
So, quiero decir que casi no había mucha dormidera.
4 horas al día.
4 horas al día.
De 2 de la mañana a 6 de la mañana es lo que yo dormía por casi 2 años y medio.
Y a veces la gente lo que ve es el resultado y no ve
Claro.
la pela que uno coge para
Claro.
llegar a donde uno llega.
Y las horas que trabaja y las preocupaciones porque no tienes a otra persona que decir, todos los viernes me van a pagar. Tú misma tienes que buscar que todos los viernes haga dinero.
¿Tuviste any setback along the way? As soon as you started?
El único setback en sí que tuve es que no me di cuenta que cuando tú le cobras a una compañía de seguro, no te van a pagar inmediatamente. Yo pensé que al terminar un trabajo en 2 o 3 semanas iba a tener un cheque y era más o menos 2 o 3 meses. So, al principio era bien difícil porque el dinero no estaba entrando suficientemente rápido para poder hacer el trabajo que estaba haciendo. Entonces, ahí es donde recogía más shift de Red Lobster para ser un poquito más efectivo, para poder pagarle muchachos para que me ayudara.
Y antes de empezar este negocio en el cual estás ahora, ¿tuviste alguna otra idea que no funcionó?
Yo he tenido muchas ideas, lo que no he empezado ningún tipo de negocio propio para que no me funcione. Nunca llegué a empezarlo.
A empezarlo.
Yo
You
siempre
had the
sabía,
ideas, but you never
right, yo siempre
executed.
sabía que quería tener mi propia compañía, ser mi propia jefa, hacer mis propias horas, pero nunca en sí empecé hasta que hice esto.
So, basically, hasta ahora estamos 1 for 1.
So far,
So
and
far,
hopefully this will be the one for one is
the
it.
1 for 1 is it.
That's it.
Okay. And what motivates you now? What motivates you now, I think.
I think at this point it's my family. I know I need to succeed and do what I need to do because of my family, my granddaughters, my daughter. I think those are my biggest motivations. I get up every day and of course I don't want to work. Like everybody that gets up and doesn't want to go to work in the morning, and sometimes I'm sitting in traffic and I wish I could turn around and go back to bed, and then I think about 6 granddaughters that I have to grow up and need things in their future and trying to leave a legacy for them, and that reminds me to keep going. They're my biggest motivation.
And as a business owner, responsibility has changed. What are your responsibilities now?
Everything. Even though you have employees that take care of certain departments for you in your company, you're still responsible for it.
How many employees you have? I'm sorry.
Right now we have 19 employees.
19.
As of this moment. And I think what people fail to realize is that when you're an owner, you're never off the clock. You work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because you're always worrying. When you go home, you're constantly thinking of your job, and not only do you have your job to make successful, but you got payroll that needs to be met every week, and you got these families that depend on you. So you're constantly thinking about work and making sure and worried. So I think when you're at home, when you're a business owner, you just worry about every department, whether or not you have people working those departments for you. So you're pretty much responsible for your company 100%.
¿En algún momento quisiste darte por vencida y trabajar otra vez de 9 a 5,
I
trabajarle
think
a
about
otro?
that every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I think after a certain amount of years, your business gets easier. At the beginning, yes, absolutely. Especially when the money wasn't coming in as fast as I needed it to. One of the hardest things of a company is growing so fast. And when you grow a lot of business, you got to make sure you have the personnel to be able to keep up. And to have personnel, you need money to pay the paychecks. And when money's not coming in that fast, so at the beginning, yes, I would wonder, why would I put myself under this kind of stress? Why did I want to work these 20-hour days? Why did I want to do this to myself? And every day I thought, this would be so much easier just to go back and get a real job, and that's it.
And leave that alone.
And leave it alone, exactly. Let somebody else deal with the problems and just pick up a paycheck every week. So at the beginning, yes, I would probably say I felt that way the first 4 or 5 years. Once I started getting a good staff to help me and alleviate some of the stress, my attitude changed a little bit about that.
So we're talking about you started on your own. It was a one person show.
Correct.
It was only you, and then right now it's 19 personnel basically.
Correct.
19
With me, it's 20.
With you, it's 20.
With me, it's 20.
So that's what in the past 2 years have
2.5 years has been my growth.
your growth.
You're
Okay.
right. I would say the first few years was laying the foundation, and then the last 2.5 years we've been growing at a steady rate.
Okay. So what's next for you? You planning going corporate? You want to go national?
I will never go corporate. I'm totally against
Why?
everything that has to do with corporate.
Why is that? Can you please?
I believe in keeping a work environment that's fun, that's laid back, that you have some structure, but you still can come to work and have a good time. I never want an employee to get up in the morning and not want to go to work. I think when you have an employee feel that way, they're obviously not going to perform the best that they can for you. So I'm trying to keep my environment friendly, nice, and with them in mind. And I believe when you become corporate, you lose that. You lose that one-on-one family atmosphere, and that's what I'm trying to maintain. Nationwide, no. Nationwide, again, I feel that if we grow that much, you lose that one-on-one personal touch that you can give your customers. I would like to go statewide. I would like to eventually have an office mid-state in the Orlando area, and then one in North Florida, probably in the Tallahassee area. So
Yeah,
we
because
can
we're talking
cover.
your business in Florida. So,
Correct.
yeah.
I cover the entire state of Florida, and right now we do a lot of traveling in cars. Where if I could have local offices in those areas, just our response time to our customers would be minimized. But that's I think as far as I would grow would be just the state. I do not want to go national.
Good. ¿Y cuál es el futuro del negocio? Muchos negocios pequeños se están desapareciendo. Hay gigantes en la industria del mercado con budget que son infinitos y ofreciendo toda clase de servicios y se están apoderando del mundo y desapareciendo a los que son más pequeños. ¿Tú tienes algunas ideas cómo mantenerte o cómo ves el futuro del negocio?
Right now, I see the company growing at a steady rate that I don't see that changing. We have a few different ideas of how we're going to do new marketing to make sure that continues. The bigger companies, when it comes to our industry, they are taking over, but they're not giving the good quality service that we are. And
Okay.
when you talk to a lot of the insurance companies that we deal with, that's the first thing they say to us. The way you guys submit your paperwork, the amount of time it takes you to turn in your paperwork, the way you guys do your billing, it's easy to work with you guys, and we want to continue to work with you guys. And you don't get that when you get into such a big company. You lose that. So I think as long as we stay leveled, we stay grounded, I see us going around for a very long time. I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Good. I mean, I think customer service usually goes a long way, and sometimes that's the difference between small companies and big companies. Pero lo digo porque un ejemplo, mira, estamos viendo lo que le pasó al mismo Toys R Us, even though it was a big company, pero vienen industrias como Amazon o gente con mucho más dinero que tal vez alguien de un negocio pequeño y lo saca del mercado. So, siempre yo creo que hay que innovarse y estar, ahead of the curve, como dicen, because
And on top of your game.
on top of your game,
And on
making
top of
sure.
your game, and you can't slack on getting new business and investing money in your company to be able to promote your business and advertise your business and market your business out there. I think a lot of small companies, because of the budget, don't do that, and unless you get your name out there, people need to hear your name in order to call you. So they don't know who to call if you're not out there with your name in their face 24 hours a day. And that's why we do billboards. That's why, we look for ways to advertise so that every time you turn around, the next time you hear the word Moisture Rid, you're going to say, oh, I've heard that name before. And that's what we're striving for.
And you said that you don't want to go corporate. One of the reasons because you don't want to lose that personal touch with your employees.
Correct.
How you treat your employees and how important it is to have that personal one-on-one here and there.
You might have to ask my employees. I think I treat my employees really well. Like I said, I own my company, but I have a lot of family that works for me. My son-in-law, my own brother, my own father works for me. So we have that family atmosphere. We treat our employees like their family. I have a very open door policy. My employees can come talk to me about anything that they want. We do have a chain of command, but I've always have told everyone my door is open and you can come talk to me directly. We're not sticklers about too much in the office, as long as you don't take advantage of anything. We give all holidays off. We do Christmas parties so we can spend time and get to know people. We do corporate picnics once a year so that we can get to know the families. People bring their kids. People bring their grandkids. So we've bonded in a family way, and I think the employees feel appreciated when you do little things like that. Now for Christmas, there'll be a gift on their desk almost every day out of the whole month of December. The Christmas is my favorite holiday, so I go extra and beyond. But it just lets them know that as a boss, I'm thinking about them, and I tell them every time I meet with them in meetings is that I appreciate, because I know that my business wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for them. There's no way I could do what they all do for me by myself anymore. I outgrew working by myself a really long time ago. So I try to appreciate them and show them how appreciated they are as much as I can.
What advice you can give someone that is probably struggling right now, and what's one of your main, I want to say, attributes that you might think you have? Is it a discipline? Is it somebody who's struggling right now, trying to become free?
For someone who's struggling and trying to get into an industry, my biggest advice would be find a mentor. Find someone that you can talk to that's been in your shoes and can give you advice. For me, it was the guy who rented the equipment for me. He's been in the industry for a really long time. He started pretty much the same way I did, on his own, with not knowing much of anything and learning by trial and error. And I would call him for everything. And that guy, no matter what time I called him, I could be at a customer's house and not know what I was doing and call him, and he would walk me through it. So my biggest advice, if you're going through a struggle, is don't give up, and find someone who's been in your shoes that can give you advice of how to get past the struggles that you're getting past at the moment. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes we can't see it because we're so wrapped up, but there's someone that's going to point it out for you. And for me, I probably leaned on that guy for the first 4 years of my business, and got to where I am, where I don't have to bother him so much anymore. I kind of make my own decisions.
You still talk to him?
I still talk to him.
Does he know how big you have become? And
yes,
success?
In fact, I invited him to our first corporate picnic. He couldn't come; he was out of town, but he's seen the pictures, so he's seen what we've become, and he's been a big part of what it is that I've become.
I mean, sometimes having that mentor is such a difference. It can only take you so far. Being grateful and thankful is one thing that I have witnessed that will take you also really far. Talking to that person is such a relief, and you have no idea how far it can take you just by listening. And take you.
And it's not even just the talking to someone. It's you admitting that you can't do it all yourself. Once you think that you know it all, and once you think that you don't need anybody and you don't need help, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail, because no matter who's starting what kind of business, you're new at a business, you don't know it all. You need those people that have more experience than you do to teach you and show you and guide you, at least. And if I was in your shoes, I would do this, whether you want to do it or not. But at least you have someone there giving you some ideas.
Okay. And what was he? He was an American guy?
He's an American guy. Yeah, he's an American guy. Big guy. He's like a big teddy bear.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
¿Y dónde nos dirigimos como país? La dirección en la que va nuestro país. ¿Cómo lo ve?
I'm really not much of a political person. I never have been. It's not something that I understand a lot, so I try to listen and learn, but stay away. And my personal opinion, we're not going in a great direction.
As a business owner, though,
I don't think, as a business owner, I don't think what Trump is trying to do hurts my category of business. Because although I do have some employees and although we're growing, I'm still such a small business that what he's doing, the tax brackets, this and that, it really doesn't affect me much. The bigger companies, I can see how they will have issues with what he's trying to do. To me personally, his changes, his laws that he's trying to come into effect aren't really affecting me. Do I think if I was a bigger company, would they affect me? Yes, and I would hope that in the next 2 years we see some changes in that, because the bigger companies are going to suffer with the things that he's trying to do.
And como sociedad, what do you think? Like, whatever how you think your granddaughters? You talk about granddaughters, and how's the future holding up? You think?
That's a scary thought. When I was younger, things were so different, and I see the world now, and I think, wow, I feel bad for them, because things are so less human. The computers, the technology. The kids don't go outside and play anymore. They've lost respect for adults. We were just talking about that the other day at work when I came downstairs, and some of my employees were talking about what's wrong with kids today is, the parents have lost the opportunity to discipline. And we were saying a story of when my mom slapped me when I was 6 years old. It was the one and only time my mom has ever had to hit me, because that was hard enough to remember it 41 years later. But society, I worry about my granddaughters, because they're girls, first of all, which you worry much more about girls than you do boys. But yeah, I'm really worried, because it's not good out there. It's unsafe. Unfortunately, kids can't go outside and play anymore the way they used to before. Before we used to be in the neighborhoods, and we were inside and out of people's houses, and all the kids' moms could tell us what to do, and we all listened. And now you don't even let your kids go in the backyard by themselves.
I mean, as a country, we have grown so much also that maybe back then, in Florida alone, for example, we're number 3 as far as people's population. And I just found out about that the other day. I was surprised. I'm like, I thought it was New York. It's Florida.
Florida's big, and it's overcrowded. It's not as much as big in size. It's just overcrowded. There's a lot of people here. You have to understand that pretty much everybody that comes from, whether they're immigrating over from Cuba or Haiti, or they're all coming here. And we kind of stick out of the United States, and we're the closest thing. We're the closest thing to Cuba, and you have all these people coming. So we're just getting more populated as time goes on.
And not only that, you're getting also the South Americans and the New Yorkers and up north coming down here.
It's the weather. The people want to be here because of the weather.
Yeah. So what do you say? You consider yourself a Democrat or a Republican?
I am registered as a Democrat. I voted as a Democrat. I do believe in some of the beliefs that Republicans have. Do I vote just because of what I'm registered as? No. If I ever found out that I had a Republican president or a candidate that I thought was really good, would I vote Republican? Yeah. But for the most part, I'm very liberal. So I tend to lean more toward the Democrats that are, for the most part, more liberal.
Bueno. Señorita Sigler, Moisture Rich CEO, thank you for being here. I hope this is one of many.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I know how busy you are, so thank you for your time and sharing your story with me. Hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Anytime you invite me, I'll come back on.
Thank you very much, Angie.
Have a great night.